2. Hello, and welcome to Stabler and Friends. We missed the weekend. I promised that I was going to try and get a half hour in every single day, but it's a little bit harder to come up with some context. It's a little bit harder than I thought, so I'm trying to do more quality than quantity. So hoping that we can get going again. Man, they gave us a lot of ammo for today from yesterday in football. Hi again, I'm your host, Stabler. And my friend today is coming live via Zoom from Denver, Colorado, a longtime friend of the show and an even longer best friend of mine, Mr. Paul Clifton. Paul, how you doing?
Oh, doing great. Happy to be on the pod, man. I love what you're doing, man. I'm excited to see how your show progresses over time. It's just really cool to tune in. Yeah, perfect storm, man.
Yeah.
Back again.
I know you're the one, like, you're one of my motivators that keeps me going. I get a little down on myself sometimes, like, oh, I'm not doing good enough, or I'm not doing it enough. And you always reach out to me, so I appreciate that. You're the one that kind of got me inspired to do this, and seeing all the work that you do, because you're still doing it with the kids, right?
Yeah, doing it with the students. I'm actually at the school right now, just in the studio. Yeah, we have a gaming club after school, so we just finished because we're playing 2K, Madden and stuff.
Oh,
So
like video game club. Yeah, I remember
yeah,
you telling me about that this summer. That's awesome.
yeah, it's super fun. So yeah, man.
Good.
Just yeah, I think it's inspiring what you're doing too. I mean, just record things and put it out and see what happens.
Yeah,
So
it's all about consistency. I feel like the more I do it, the more comfortable I get. Because I'll tell you, the first day that I did it, I like went over notes and like started. I'm like, "Hello, this is Stabler and Friends." I'm like, "Shit, that doesn't sound good." Hey, this is Stabler, and then I said, "Like, no, you sound too much like a radio DJ." Like, trying to just get the balance to where now it's like, "All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, record." I got a friend. I'm feeling good, having some fun. Um, I don't want to end the show off on a bad note. So I figured maybe we'd start it and then we'll go uphill from here. We had Nate on our podcast earlier this week as our fantasy football champion. You lost on the final play. I've never seen a fantasy game end like that, dude. And I'm just hurt for you. I was excited for him, but I'm hurt for you. How you feeling now?
yo, I've gone through all the stages of grief. I mean, I feel like you texted me that you're like, it's okay to grieve, and I'm like, man, it's fantasy football. But I was really hurt. I was like, I was feeling it. I couldn't sleep that night. I was like, man, because I was watching the game and like paying attention to the scores and everything. Like the whole weekend, right? I was and you know, that last play happened. And I kept replaying it over in my mind, and I have legit hate for Najee Harris now, man. I have legit hate.
So
Like,
Nate beat me by a couple points earlier in the season, and I think it was a mix between Najee Harris and Austin Eckler, like towards the end there too. So he did it to all of us. He's became one of the villains of our league.
congratulations to Nate, man. Definitely a new champ, and I hope y'all had a great dinner, man. And it was cool to see y'all's pictures and stuff. And hopefully, uh, hopefully I can get back on the in the championship level again. It's been a few years. Like I noticed, like the time I was looking back at old records and stuff, and like, yo, I as soon as I became a teacher, that's when I became a terror.
I think I lost you for a second. Hello. Just a moment. I think we lost Paul for a moment, unless it's
Can you hear me now?
yeah. There you go. But yeah, it's the teacher thing. I haven't done nearly as well since I got married. I think I do have a championship somewhere, but it's
Yeah,
priorities, I
man.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's all relative, man. And it was a funny year, man. So just
Yeah,
super happy for Nate, man. We'll see what happens next year. I'm not retiring.
good to hear. You heard it first here on Stabler and Friends. Paul is not going into retirement, and he's coming back for vengeance. We did have a debate at the champions dinner because Paul has been a champion, so he's invited to every dinner. He just lives in Denver, so it's hard to get him out for it. If you would have won, would you have made the trek to Salt Lake to come reclaim your belt at the champions dinner this last Saturday?
Absolutely. I was planning on it, man. I was planning on making a trip
That's
out
so
there.
that's what we all said. We're like, Nate, you probably cost us seeing Paul. Now we have to hang out with you every year.
Yeah, no, no, man. I definitely would have been there, and I was thinking about coming the weekend before, but I got sick. I got COVID, so like Christmas Day.
Too
So
tough.
I was Yeah, the first time. That was the first
Uh,
time. So yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to my sister for winning the women's league. That's dope.
yeah, yeah, Mo Cliff. Paul's sister won the ladies league that they're in. My wife and his sister and a few others. It's a fun league. They know how to party. They think I think they showed up. We did this draft party at the same time, and I think they might have had a funner time than we did. Like they were down there hooting and hollering and taking shots.
Yeah, it was a wild time. That's like
Yeah,
the best weekend for me is like going to Utah for the draft. So can't
I
wait for
know.
next year.
I know. I'm looking forward to it. Well, like I said earlier, we had a lot of ammo for the show. NFL yesterday was no joke. We've been teasing it all week that if somehow the Indianapolis Colts lost to Jacksonville, that it could potentially set up a tie for the Chargers and the Raiders, which would end up getting both of the teams in. Did you watch the Colts game that morning at all? Did you catch some highlights?
I was watching Red Zone all day.
All
All day.
day.
Yesterday,
I didn't
what,
leave the
what an
couch.
amazing day for NFL football, man. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just catching it on Red Zone, and it's like Carson Wentz throws an interception. It's like
Over and
it's
over
like
and
over and over
over.
again, man. And yeah, just like I remember, earlier on in the year, they're like, oh, Colts are a dangerous team, someone to look out for in the playoffs, and all of it just losing to the Jags, man. That's rough.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. They 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, they seemed like the team to beat when they put it on New England. They just seemed like they were going to be that team. They got a good defense. They got a good running game. Wentz seems to be protecting the ball, and then a couple bad weeks, and now they're out of it. So while that's all happening, the Steelers go over and get a win against Baltimore. Pretty
That
close
was a
game
great
towards
game
the
too.
end there. Yeah, which ultimately set up our evening game for the AFC side, which was the Raiders and the Chargers. And that game did not disappoint at all.
Oh, that game was insane. Like, how many fourth downs can Herbert convert? Right, like it's like he was waiting for fourth down just to make a play.
Yeah. So let me look it up. Yeah, because I was texting my buddy Bob last night. He was a Steelers fan, and he's like, they're gonna tie. Like they're just trying to ruin my night. Like why wouldn't they just like try and play and get a win here? He's like, is that a record for fourth down conversions? And immediately after he said it, Al Michaels says 6 fourth down conversions for the first time in 30 years. 6.
Yeah,
There could have been more if they would have. So anyways, what ended happening is it went overtime. There's about a minute, just under 2 minutes left. The Raiders run the ball. They don't call a timeout. Chargers don't call a timeout. So the clock's ticking. So now it seems like, oh, we got a mutual agreement here. Like maybe we just run it out and we both go to the playoffs. Everybody in the Vegas stadium can be friends for the night. Go out, enjoy yourselves. We're all going to the playoffs. Maybe we'll see you later down the road. And they run the ball again. And now it's third down coming up, and the clock's running down, and you're thinking, all right, well, this is going to be it. Maybe they'll be a jerk and kick a long field goal, but we could just let it run one more play and it's over. All of a sudden, Chargers coach called a timeout. And then the next play, the Raiders say, all right, well, if that's how we're playing it, we'll go run up down your throat and get a first down and kick a 50-yarder and call it quits. And the crazy thing is why did he call that timeout? Why wouldn't he have saved it for icing the kicker if he wanted to play it like that? Why, what good did that timeout do? If you stop him, all you're going to do is get the ball within your own end zone with less than 30 seconds to go. You're not going to make a drive down there. It was crazy. Did you is that how you
yeah,
felt watching that?
yeah. I feel like it's like uncharted territory. It's like, how do you know if the other team is like conceding for the tie, or or they're like legit trying to run the football to get a field goal or something?
Yeah, I don't
And
know
I feel
if I've
like
ever
that
seen
last
this.
was that third down play right after they took that timeout. I feel like if the Raiders don't get a first down there, or if it's a tackle for a loss, they're definitely not kicking a field goal. Game's over. It's a
Yeah,
tie, right?
yeah,
But Jacobs gets a first down, and it's just too easy to kick that field goal, right? Man, but I just feel like the situation. the situation is insane. Like they kept showing the Steelers fans. There was like those couple Steelers fans that were there, and they kept showing them. And at the start of the game, they're like super happy. Yeah, it's good. You know, we're and then toward the end, they're just like so nervous, like biting their nails, and, it's
I saw
just so
that
much
last
drama, man. So much
that
drama.
last minute they zoomed in on the one lonely Steelers fan. Like it was like an older dude, and you could just read every swear word and from his mouth. Just what are they doing? And you're like, yes, this is what I wanted to see. And the timeout, and I'm sitting there like yelling at my TV now, like what are they thinking? Like just take it. Let's go. Let's go to next week. And they just weren't having it. I don't know. But my bigger question is I think it was 4th and 3 in the third quarter on their own, I want to say 18, 19 yard line within the 20 of their own field, backed up, and they went for it. The Chargers went for it, and they got tackled for a 2-yard loss. Like, I just don't understand the coaching like process from this guy. It's mind
Like
boggling.
things have gone a little crazy with the fourth down.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like how would it, like what would be going through this coach's mind? Like you're not, I don't know, you're not making much of a statement if you ask me, but
Yeah, how disappointing are the Chargers this year? Like Herbert going into his second year, you're like, oh man, you know, it's gonna be, you know, they'll definitely make the playoffs and maybe do something, maybe knock someone off, right? That's like the
yeah.
progression of all-time quarterback, right? But how disappointing is that to have all those weapons and not make the playoffs?
Yeah, especially with the strong start that they had. Like started off strong, faltered up and down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I think that they got a bright future. I don't know if they get a hold on to Mike Williams, who was a big X factor for him this year. I think he might be a free agent, but yeah, if they can come back next year with, I mean, I thought the coach would be fired today. I honestly like would not have put it past him. Uh, somehow I woke up thinking that would be a possibility. And I literally got off the phone with my dad after the Dolphins game because I'm a Dolphins fan. I think most people know. And I said, hey, well, I mean, it hurts that we lost to Tennessee last week because we'd be in the playoffs right now after beating the Patriots. But I said, hey, at least the coach isn't getting fired. I'm a big fan of Brian Flores. He's got a winning record. That's our first time, people, first time in 20 years that we've had back-to-back winning seasons. And I wake up this morning and turn on my AM radio, and they're talking about how he got fired. And I thought maybe there's a different Flores.
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked when I saw that. You know, I had a little break. I was, you know, reading the ticker at work, and yeah, man, I was shocked by that. I can't believe. I mean, especially after the win that they had yesterday over the Patriots. Yo, do you realize they beat New England 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
That's insane. Like, yo, you need to keep a coach that has done that because that hasn't happened in forever, right? Um, so yeah, definitely disappointed to hear. But you know, I'm excited for Flores. Like, he'll definitely get another job somewhere.
Yeah, it's funny because he's going to go somewhere else, and it might be to a team that I'm not a fan of, but all of a sudden my narrative changes for whatever team gets him because I appreciated all that he did. I remember just last year when we weren't even supposed to win more than 2 games probably, and we led the league in least amount of penalties. Like, so like at least he was like setting the base of foundation of like, this is how you start to win. You don't make dumb mistakes. And like he just grinded that into their brain. You work hard every play. He got the secondary working good. He does blitzes that like people can't figure out. It seems like I haven't seen a team be able to blitz like that since like Blitzburg Steelers in that 3-4 back in the day. You know, like we had a good team. There was some chemistry issues. We're still trying to get Tua to go along, like get Waddle adjusted into the league because Waddle came on at the second half. But yeah, everything was going the right direction. I feel like I'm kind of ranting now because I'm just the more I talk about it, the more it upsets me that this Stephen Ross, he just doesn't make good choices. I think we have a minority owner by Fergie, and I think I'd rather have her making the choices for the Dolphins at this point.
Well, they must have a coach in their back pocket, like Harbaugh.
That's what I'm hearing. They're saying no, but I can't. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Maybe the LSU guy that goes, "Go Tigers." I don't know his name. or Roglobo or something. I don't know how to say
Is
his
it
name.
Jorgeron or whatever?
Or Orgeron, yeah,
Yeah,
Oregon,
I don't know how
yeah.
to say.
So
He seems like a cool dude. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I the Steelers have no business being in the playoffs. How do you feel about the way the expansion has worked so far this first year, and also having a 17th game?
I like I like one less spring training game or preseason game. I like the game because if that's what they wanted to do, I'm okay with it. The playoff expansion, I think right now I'm okay with the number. I don't want it to go any higher. I don't like I think I've talked to you about it before, the NBA where half the league makes the playoffs and then they're all 7 game series. They just kind of, I don't know, it waters down the regular season for me. But right now where it was the 17 playoffs last week, if it was potential that AFC, the last 2 spots, they were open for 7 teams, I think. And I think if the Broncos would have beat the Chargers, there still would have been 7 teams going into the AFC this week 18 with an opportunity to make the playoffs. So I do like that it's got everybody still fighting. I like the one bye because now it's got every other team. I mean, other than the Packers who already had it locked up, like everybody still had to fight in the AFC. You had Tennessee, Kansas City, Cincinnati. I mean, Buffalo, New England kind of. I don't think Buffalo had a chance to move up, but New England definitely did if everything could have went right. So I like that it made the last end of the season meaningful. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm still. Yesterday was amazing. Like, it was so fun to watch football yesterday, and I watched football all day. It was like, and it is just so much drama, so entertaining. Um, especially when the Steelers were playing, they're like, "Is this Big Ben's last throw?" Like, all this stuff,
Yeah,
and it's just like drama to the end. Um, I yeah, I feel I liked it. I like it a lot. I like having 18 weeks. Adding the extra game. It's just really cool. I wonder if after this, the tie rule on the last week of the season, I wonder if something happens with that, just so there's not this loophole ever
what a,
again.
what a
I don't.
weird thing. Like I wonder, like because they did that in the flex game. I wonder if they had any idea when they put that flex game in at the end of the night that was going to give substantially like a advantage for these 2 teams.
Yeah, it's wild. I really like the having the last game of the year, all division
Yeah,
rivalries and everything like that. Like it was just masterful the way that the schedule was put together, even though
yeah,
they don't know what's gonna happen beforehand. But like just the way things worked out is just really cool.
for sure.
I'm interested to see what happens in the playoffs with the number one seeds just having a bye and seeing what kind of advantage um, that has. The playoff matchups look delicious, and
Yes.
excited to have like 6 games this weekend. So that's super dope. Like
Yeah.
the division weekend is always like my favorite. So like I feel like we have the best games. But this wild card weekend with 6 games, I feel like it's gonna be super fun. There's still some bad teams though that made the playoffs. There's some bad teams that shouldn't be
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the
Um,
NFC side was pretty cool too. The afternoon games where the Niners ended up coming back on Los Angeles Rams, because they looked dead in the water for a second. Like New Orleans was running away with it on one side, San Francisco they keep getting close, and then the Rams run away with it a little bit, but they came back and won, so that was pretty exciting.
yeah, the Rams were up 17-0 in that game, right?
Yeah, I
And
think
yeah, I was
yeah,
like, yo, New Orleans, man, New Orleans. But it's a team without a quarterback. Like they don't
yeah.
belong in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think if anything, at least New Orleans realized that Taysom Hill is not a quarterback. They can move on from that and use him as a Swiss Army knife, which is what he's amazing, good at everything, great at nothing, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah,
but
master of none.
yes, exactly. I can relate to that. um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun all day. Uh, who's your picks? You got a pick for the Super Bowl right now?
Yeah,
Who's gonna
man.
who's gonna be in it?
I'm just this homer, man. Like the Packers. You know, But I don't know who's coming out of the AFC, man. It looks like the Chiefs, right? But then, like, there's sometimes they look great and amazing, and other times they look like hot garbage, you know. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Packers and Chiefs, I can see that.
Yeah, I originally was gonna go with Titans over Cowboys, but um, I think I just don't think with the Packers getting a bye and every game having to go through Lambeau, anybody's gonna beat them. I know that it's happened before, but there's just not a team in the NFC that stands out to me that's gonna to beat them in Lambeau. I don't think Tom Brady can do it. I don't think the Rams can do it, especially where they can't stop anybody from running. Obviously, you saw how bad that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think I'm gonna go Packers. I think I'm gonna go Packers over Titans. I guess they're both the one seed. I don't think a lot of people feel that Tennessee is a one seed, but I think that they're a complete team. I think they're getting Henry back soon. Julio was back yesterday. AJ Brown's looking like old AJ Brown. I think everything's clicking right at the right time. I kind of predicted this when Henry went down, like as a long shot, like a gamble. Like I was like, I'd like to put a little money on Tennessee to win the whole thing. And now I feel like it's starting to rise up and be to that. I don't think Cincinnati is consistent enough from the AFC. Yeah, I mean, Chiefs obviously, but I don't ever like to go straight up favorites. I don't know.
Yo, there's some like class of there's like a class of quarterbacks that are elite, right? And then there's the quarterbacks I just don't trust.
Exactly.
Tannehill's in that class of quarterback, along with like Kirk Cousins, right?
Yeah.
Can't trust that guy.
Yeah. I got a little area, the tier of them, the Cousins, the Tannehills. I put Carr in there because I never know
Yeah,
which Derek Carr I'm gonna get, but
for sure.
uh,
But we've seen guys like that win Super Bowls. Like Trent Dilfer has won a Super Bowl, right? It's like
yeah,
so it's
Joe Flacco. I mean, they just Eli Manning. I love him, but like, yeah, he just got hot at the right time. That I think that there's enough around them that he could do it. But we'll see. We'll see.
yeah. Having that running game, you're right. Like having the running game that they have, especially with Derrick Henry coming back,
Yeah.
like yeah, that's good for playoff football. So yeah, it's really fun to watch like it always is. But yeah, Chiefs Packers.
Chiefs Packers. We got it. We got it on record now. All right. Let's wrap up the show. We got probably about 10, 15 minutes if you want to talk about this. College national championship. The wait is over. I've been talking about it since I started this podcast on January 1st. We're both Alabama fans. We've been fans since, trust us, before they were good. I promise. I know I say this a lot, but we're not the bandwagoners. We watched them back when Shula was their coach, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yo, roll tide. Yeah.
Roll Tide, baby.
Let's do this, man. Yeah, it's it's really interesting. Like, I'm really nervous about today's game because it's really hard to beat a team twice in the season, especially a team like Georgia. With such I wonder what our offensive game plan is going to be. Knowing just going into the second game, like we were dominant and going into tonight's game, I'm nervous about what adjustments are going to be made, and we got Nick Saban, so I know that we can trust him with adjustments. But there's been those games that like Clifton a few years ago
Yeah.
where it just falls apart, right? So it's I'm hoping for a fantastic game. We've won a lot of national championships, but we should win. We should win today.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is Alabama versus Georgia, the college national championship game. It's on at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is our time. So by the time that this uploads and you guys are listening to it, the game started. So check out ABC or ESPN, ESPN2. They got a whole mix of them tonight.
Yo, you
My
got
thoughts.
sponsored by ESPN. You got sponsored by the
I
mothership.
wish, man. Hey, mothership, listen to this podcast and give us money. Dr. Pepper, give us money. No, I'm with you. It's really hard to win twice against the team. I think if they can have that offensive line power that they had against Cincinnati and against Georgia the first time, Bama can run whatever they want. My issue is I think Georgia looked too angry last week or 2 weeks ago. They looked like the team they looked like all season. I think Mechie, the receiver for Bama being out, he's the possession receiver. He is the one that creates a few more first downs, a couple third down conversions. Like he's the guy there. You get Jamison Williams, who I think might be the best Bama receiver I've ever seen. Them together, great. Double coverage in Williams. We need another receiver to step up. I know that it's possible, but I just that consistency scares me, and I think Georgia just is right now, from looking at the last two games, I'm feeling that Georgia's hungry as hell and they want their revenge. So Bama's going to have to do a little extra. I did put 20 down on Bama plus 2.5. I took a couple points. So let's see what happens. You watching the game at home tonight, or what's your plans?
Yeah. Probably just chilling at the crib and not drinking this month. So
Okay.
definitely gonna be taking it easy. But yeah, just I'm I'm really nervous, like I'm really nervous about this game. And I know like there was a quote by Kirby. He was like, I lose sleep. I've lost sleep over these losses to Alabama. And so I hear what you're saying. Like they're hungry and the tables have turned. Like Alabama was the underdog going into the SEC championship game, and I felt like that gave us, let us play free and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I can see us tightening up today as the favorite. We're not the betting favorite, but we beat them last time, right? Um, so yeah, it's gonna be intense. I envision another amazing football game. It's been a great weekend for football, and it's going to be a great national championship game.
Yeah.
What's your prediction on the score, man?
I'm gonna go 27 23 Georgia.
All right. I'm gonna go 31-27 Alabama.
I like that. I like your pick better. I'm hoping you get it right. Yeah, I like to have parties. I like to have people over to watch sports. Invited like a couple people from our fantasy league, a couple people, see if anybody wanted to come. I don't get a lot of responses for the college championship, especially when Bama's playing. It's not like I'm an annoying fan or anything. I think that everybody like genuinely just doesn't like to see the same teams every year. Although I argue that it's not the same team other than Nick Saban. It's a new players all the time.
Yeah, I love how Nick Saban is like reinvented his teams, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about the NFL and how many great running backs are from Alabama that are in the NFL, and but now it's not like we're a passing team, as along with the running game, of course, but we can actually pass now, um, and it's just fascinating how things have evolved, and it's amazing that we're in another national championship game. So yeah, man, celebrate, man.
Yeah.
If I was in Utah right now, I'd definitely be at your crib, watching the game. Is your pops heading over there too?
I don't think he'll come over. I want him to, but my dad takes these games pretty serious.
Well, your name's Stabler. So,
Yeah. I was named after Kenny Stabler, so
that's pretty serious right there. Alabama. So yeah, man.
Yeah, we're just a little different because I like watching the game, but I also like the party. My dad's like it was a game back in the day. Now they just want to do a concert. They want to do this, So he's not like total boomer, but when it's his team, like it's crazy. He gets like mad dog focused on the TV and analyzes every play. He's so sharp. I wish I had like half of his sports intelligence, but at the same time, like that brings the intensity for him, and he just doesn't want to be around people. Like he'll be around me because I understand, but he doesn't want to be with a big party. So
yeah, I totally get it, man. He's like, don't talk to me. Don't talk
yeah,
to me.
but I got found a mock Chili's queso dip.
Hey.
And I've been doing that like the last 2 times I had people over. It's like my favorite thing. So we're making one of those tonight. I think we're going to do some wings. And then
Yeah.
I planned this in advance. I got tomorrow off, so I can stay up late and get as weird and wild as I want. So hopefully we can pop the bottles tonight for Bama.
That's what's up. Yo, Bama. So I was thinking about this. Bama loses. Yo, because Alabama fans are really like super spoiled, right? Super
Yeah.
spoiled. And like you said, like you and I we've been talking Bama for a long time. Um, when it wasn't so good, but after all this time, are you gonna be devastated? We lose this game.
Yeah, it's weird. Like the how the games make me feel now, because there was the first one, like, wow, we did it. I've never seen them win, to all right, they did it again. That's cool. The third time, wow, we're like a dynasty. And then it's like four or five, whatever. It's like now I still get intense for it. I still like right now, probably about 40 minutes ago, an hour ago, I start to like get the nervousness, the tenseness for the game. Like, you got to understand, Paul, I'm not blessed with my fandom. Alabama is the only team of my favorite teams that I've ever seen win a championship. So I'm not used to this.
That's true,
Yeah.
man. That's true. The Lions, Dolphins. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So now
The,
it's more just trying to get the
the
win,
Guardians.
so like I can keep talking that trash. Uh, I'm not really a trash talker, but if people come at me, I'd like to have a little bit of backup. So I like this, and when the game does start, it feels like, hey, this is my team. I don't care if they've won too many, because this is what, like, so I understand where Patriots fans and Tom Brady fans come from, is what I'm saying. I don't like that either, like when it's not my team or my guy, but when it's my team, it's like, all right, here we go. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, I'll probably be sad for a couple of days if Alabama doesn't win. But like, yeah, we have a lot of history, the recent history to be super proud of. And
Yeah, like
yo, shout out to
I
the
don't
SEC,
feel
man. SEC
oh,
is the best conference in America.
absolutely. Yeah, and I don't feel as bad as I do like when Cleveland gets knocked out, or if like last week when the Dolphins lost to Tennessee. That hurts me more than a championship game right now. But yeah, SEC. Will tell you, my most meaningful game to me in the last like 5 years of Bama was beating Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. Just because there's always those Cinderella story fans who I just don't think they watch SEC football, if it's just out of like spite or what. But it's like, if you watch these games, you're watching like you're watching the Cavs versus Warriors like every week. There's big teams. When I love the other conference teams. They're fun to watch on a Saturday, but they I just don't feel like they belong there, especially like with an easy schedule where SEC has to go at it. And I think a couple weeks ago proved that, and tonight proves that when we got the two best teams in there again. So
Absolutely. Texas and Oklahoma don't know what they're about to get into, man.
it's gonna be
That's
crazy.
yeah. Yo, yeah, it's great football, man. And yeah, I'm just really excited about uh seeing Nick Saban, man, win another one. I feel like he's mellowed out a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
I've
as
liked him
intense.
more as the years have gone on. When he first came, I wasn't a fan of his intensity, and I mean, he gets the job done, but I wasn't a fan. But now it seems like he like just cares about the kids. He kind of seems like more of like a father figure than just like a drill instructor.
Yeah, man. His press conferences lately have been fire. He's
Yeah,
like talking about Alabama fans being spoiled, and then like, yeah, it's great. It's like, yeah, somebody needs to say that, and it definitely needs to be him that says it, right? The best
yeah,
coach, you know, definitely. Especially when he was his comment about nobody feels worse when we lose than the players, right? Because I think
right.
fans get it twisted, like thinking that players don't care, and then, like in other sports, like people say that all the time, but I don't believe that. Like, it's their job, it's it's what they do. For these kids, it's their livelihood, and like their future opportunities to make money and
Yeah.
change their family situation. So yeah, they're gonna take it. They're gonna put their heart and soul into this.
Absolutely. And I love that. And that's probably my main thing, especially the older I got, like just hoping that everybody gets through this game healthy, that has a chance at the like making the NFL and making some money and turning some things around for their family. Cause that's what it's all about. That's what they've been working for. And it's scary right now where they don't get paid. I'm glad they're getting the like the likeliness rights or whatever you call it, where they can sell themselves for promotions and things like that. I'm cool with that. I don't know if it's a perfect system, but I'm hoping that that helps them. But yeah, you look at that quarterback for Ole Miss that just went down during a bowl game, during a meaningless bowl game, and he's a first round pick. I don't think it's like too serious. I think he's still going to be drafted in the first round, but still, like, you just think how scary that could be. So
Yeah, it's like millions of dollars at risk for a lot of these guys. You know,
yeah,
they're putting it out there. They want to win. So
I think they do have insurance now for him, so that's good. But it's only like a $2 billion insurance when, like, if you get drafted, like, that's guaranteed like a few million, in like the first round. So, but cool, man. I appreciate you coming on. Do you want to give a plug for your podcast?
oh yeah, man. Yeah. So, my students have a podcast, The Voice of Montbello. So Montbello is the neighborhood where my students go to school and live. And it's a really awesome neighborhood. We talk about things that are happening. We also talk about fun stuff like Marvel and video games and things like that. So check out the Voice of Montbello podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we're really grateful for you inviting me on the show. Like, I sent you a text the other night, and I didn't expect you to invite me on the show. I was just like, oh, I want to hear what you have to say about these games. But so I'm really grateful for you having me on.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, when you messaged me, I was like, God, Paul would be the perfect one. We got the championship game where Alabama boys together on this. Like, it'd be fun to have you on the right before the game.
It's a perfect storm.
The perfect storm, Black Lightning and White Thunder.
Tag team champions of Ogden.
That's right. Yep. Coming to a wrestling ring near you someday and a rap concert.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Well, roll tide. Thanks again for coming
Roll
on.
Tide.
Thanks for listening to Stabler and Friends, everyone. And thanks for being our friends.